All right, guys, we are live. I am back with Chase. We just had a discussion, came in super early, went back over the document, everything we possibly could. Chase went over the document. I've got some of your questions preloaded here on my phone. I know that I didn't put the live sticker in there this morning, but I was doing a million things and I forgot the live symbol, whatever. We are live. Chase is here. So you see us, you know, you can go back and check it, do all of that great stuff. Oh, we got a notification too. So they're sending out the notification. All right. Sorry we are a little bit late, but there was a couple pressing things that we had to. If you guys have questions, let me know. We've already got some comments coming through for you, Chase. And again, I know I've written down the comments from the last video into this video. Chase, how are you feeling? Are you ready to finally get this chapter of our lives behind us?
I mean, it's a lot easier for me than everybody else who had a bunch of money in there, but
no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to see some possible light at the end of the tunnel. Doesn't mean the plan's going to pass, but there's certainly some hope to maybe, start recouping some losses in a few different ways at this point.
Okay, cool. So we've got a lot of people thanking you for coming on. Eddie V says, "What's up, boys?" James John says, "Good morning." Good morning. Luna says it's a 70% return final. If is that the percentage we're going to get, Luna? We will go over that in this entire thing, so we'll let you know. Strange Music, we appreciate you being here, and good morning, Kevin. We will go through this. If you guys, again, have questions, comments, let us know in the chat. I will try to run both simultaneously. Diamond says he loves you, Chase. Solo just pumped 70% in 1 week. Let's go, Solo pumping. So that's good to hear. But this is all Voyager today. We will get it going, all right? All right, guys. So we made this I made this document as easy as I possibly could to read for all of us to make it as simple as possible. Also, I totally forgot. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, but like the video. It does push it out to more people who may need this help, who doesn't have Chase in their back pocket to be able to come help them out. So like the video. So I made this document much easier for everybody to see and just comprehend because it is a lot going on. Chase, would you say it's a lot to go? It's a lot going on?
Yeah, I mean, it's two separate documents. It's two separate documents of the same document. Looks like there was one that was redlined. So yeah, there's a ton of information here, and it can be a lot to digest.
Absolutely. And Mark, USDC, we're going to get to that real quick, and we do have, I think, somewhat of a final answer on USDC.
Yeah, I think so.
So we'll get to that throughout too. Morning, Bronco, we appreciate you being here. Brandon, no problem, buddy. So we will get this done. Chase has a lot to do today. He actually has to prepare for another case later on, and the Iowa Hawkeyes play today too. Yep. So, all right, guys, without further ado, we'll get into it. If you got questions, please send them down below. We'll get to them. All right, guys. So, Chase, we're going to get into the document itself. I'm going to try to keep it as legit as possible. I did go through and highlight the important parts. Chase, if there's something I missed, we already went over this, so yeah. I don't think there is. But if there's something I missed, you want me to stop, you just tell me to shut up and I will stop. Okay. So first thing, you are cautioned that all the forward-looking statements are necessarily speculative and therefore certain risks and uncertain that could cause actual events and results, blah, blah, blah. What does this mean, Chase?
Basically, they're saying this is what we think is going to happen, but we're not guaranteeing anything.
Yes.
This is all necessary speculation, which has really been what we've been doing the last couple months is speculating on what could happen and what the filings kind of mean. But this is their paragraph saying you can't hold us to this.
This could completely change at any moment. That's what this means. And we'll get to, there was just one negative comment on YouTube. That dude was just being an asshole, whatever, who cares? I mean, not a big deal. But either way, guys, this is precedent. This is brand new. Nobody knows what was going to happen 2 months ago. No one knows what's going to actually happen right now, because this could all go up in flames tomorrow.
I mean, yeah, and that's what their paragraph's saying is we're giving you this information as this is our best guess. But none of this is binding. If you want to hold us in a court of law that this is what we said, no, that paragraph is based. No, here's the information we have to make and this is the information you can use to decide how you want to vote. But none of this is legally binding. This is not as if we're signing a contract.
Perfect.
Anything like that.
Okay. Never quit. What's up, buddy? Appreciate you being here again. All right. So it looks like here, Chase, we already know the numbers of the 1.422 or 0.422 billion that FTX is clearly paying for the 1.311 billion, and all these prices are right now determined as of September 26, 2022. So under the asset purchase agreement, FTX will purchase all cryptocurrency on Voyager platform other than VGX.
Yep.
So, all right, let's tackle the VGX thing right now. If you hold VGX, Chase, what's that mean?
It means you're gonna not get very much back.
Yeah, you're gonna get how much back roughly?
If the document stands true, 5%.
So if whatever you had, whatever amount of money. So if you put in $100, how much money are you gonna get deposited in your account for that?
$5.
You're gonna get $5 back in this deal. In this deal, and we want to be 100% legit with you guys because that's what's happening. Is that in this deal, if you hold VGX, you're gonna get screwed. The way it is.
I mean, I said there was about 200 million on the platform, and they've basically bought that for $10 million.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, they've set aside $10 million in cash that will go to those people who had the 200 million. So that's pretty easy math from there on what you're going to get back. And they've made it pretty clear in the document that they're not interested in the VGX. They don't want it. It's not really part of our deal. We'll give 10 million and then be done with it.
So and on top of that, Chase, let's say this too. Throughout this document, and you read the entire thing, I read what I could read of it without having to enlist your help. It pretty much seems like Voyager, and this is throughout it, we'll go over it again, doesn't want to be a part of it anymore either. Voyager, the CEOs, the executives, everything, they want to take it and they want to run.
They're ready to be done with it. They're
Yeah.
ready to be over, and I assume Sam Bankman-Fried is too.
Okay.
He's probably ready to leave the Voyager name because the Voyager name has, disrupted all your guys' trust as, investors on their platform. As more and more has come out, and I assume, once you've lost that brand trust, I mean, the quicker Sam Bankman-Fried can make it FTX and just throw Voyager in the trash, the better for him. For sure, and that's what he's going to do with the VGX token, unfortunately, in this proposed deal. That is okay. So the debtors will transition account holders to FTX. So basically, you are going to have to make an FTX platform. Is that correct, Chase? That's in the document. I believe they're quoted as saying they expect virtually all customers to make a FTX
correct
account.
And if you don't, you're not going to get the $50 credit, which is right here in pink, guys. You should see that right now. So you will not get it in pink, or you will not get the $50 credit, and you're going to have to then wait for cash to be deposited into your wallet, which would be a pain in the butt and take much longer. Is that probably correct?
That's correct. And how much cash remains to be seen, because they're going to have to go through everything's got to be wrapped up. And obviously, the Three Arrows Capital could bring more cash, but that's down the road.
That's almost dead and gone. We'll get to that too.
Yeah.
All right. So here's the chart that everybody's been tossing around. This is just a hypothetical, right? This is just showing us exactly what's going on, giving us some ideas. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. It basically why I put some of this in pink was to show you guys if you have Bitcoin. Okay, and they're taking that price of right now, let's just say it's 7.5, but it'll be a different time frame when we get to it. And then you're going to get, is this correct, 70% of that back as long as you just go through of whatever. So if you had one Bitcoin, you will get 70% of that 0.7 basically put in your FTX account.
That's the way I understand it.
Yes. Okay.
So now whether or not, what that, I don't know that they've determined exactly what that final price is going to be, what Bitcoin's worth. I don't know that they've fully figured that out yet. I think in there though, they're going to use some sort of average, but yeah, I mean, it won't be November 21 values where it was, I don't know, 60,000 a coin.
No, it'll be actually, I think it's, I can't exactly remember, but it's September 26th, and then it's a 20-day average from September 26th is what they're going to use to accumulate. Of this year to accumulate. So let's go over if US dollars. So let's just say you have $10,000 in XRP, and let's just say FTX doesn't hold the XRP. You put in $10,000. Does that mean that because you're not getting back $7,000, right? You're going to get back. If I originally put in $10,000, bought XRP with it, wherever that's at, they don't hold XRP, you're not getting back $7,000. You're going to get back 70% of what the project was worth at the time.
Yes, that's how it's not going to be, I put in 10 grand, now I give you 7. You're going to get of whatever that coin they don't support.
Yes.
Either FTX will, I think, are they going to expand to support all the coins? I don't know.
Yeah.
Either that, and they'll give you, but you're going to get a percentage of whatever that coin was worth, not 70% of your cash back. They don't have it.
Exactly right. So that's kind of
well, Sam Bankman-Fried might, but
here, you talk a little closer to your mic.
Oh yeah, Sam Bankman-Fried might, but Voyager doesn't have the cash to pay you back 70%.
Exactly. So James, so now they keep asking, anyone know if FTX carries USDC? I do not think they do on USDC. So, and here's the thing about USDC. You want to just go over the way you look at it, then I'll kind of chime in.
Yeah. Well, we've actually had a lot of questions about USDC, and everything I've read, all the articles, it is being treated just as another crypto strand, just as all the ones listed here. So there is no difference about that. So I don't know if people thought it was cash or what, but I assume USDC will be given out as the same plan as everything else. So it's just being treated as another strand of crypto.
Yeah. Because and here's the thing. So if you did hold USDC, it may be a little bit more advantageous for you because obviously USDC is pegged to the dollar.
Yeah.
So it's just worth $1. And so what a lot of people are asking, they are going to get essentially probably a 70% back of their USDC.
That's the way I have not seen anyone carve out USDC any differently than any other strand of crypto I've seen. And I've actually looked for that because I don't usually read all the comments just because of internet trolls, and anytime you do anything on the internet,
for sure,
they give you crap. But I have seen a lot of people ask about that, and I've looked to see if there's if they're going to treat that any differently, and I'm able to find it. If someone else found an article and they want me to read it, that's cool. There's nothing I've seen that they're going to treat it any differently than Bitcoin or anything else.
Yeah. So as of right now, it is absolutely just a crypto, and it's not USD. It's USDC, and you should expect 70% back of that. That's what this chart is saying, and that's what we're going to go with. Okay. So, anyways, we're going to keep moving on here, and you can see here, Chase, too. I kind of highlighted this just so you can see what kind of recovery it is in and how fast recovery is going. Here is the 20-day average. Is the coin prices as of September 29th, people. September 29th, actual cryptocurrency recovery will be determined by cryptocurrency prices during the fair market value reference period during the effective date. Okay? Yep. We got a couple things here. FTX has all of those coins. FTX US does not. That's correct. So there's some difference between FTX US and FTX not .US. So we'll have to go through that as well. And there are some threats from the SEC. I've seen that too. Good points. Never quit. I appreciate that. How long do you think this process will take? I did have several questions on there, but it looks like to me it was outlined in here somewhere, which we'll go over it. I think December 19th. It looks like it'll be all over.
Well, if this goes through, I believe you have till November 25th to get your vote in.
Yes.
And then there's another date on December 6th, which might be the approval, and then maybe the final approval on the 19th. So maybe by the first of the year, you may have that back. Assuming this goes through, obviously, there's still the vote, and people could vote to turn it down if they wanted to.
Yep, correct. So could vote to turn it down, but as we're looking right now, it looks like December 19th, you might even have something deposited back into your FTX account by potentially the first of the year.
Yeah, I mean,
potentially.
It just depends. I mean, that's millions of people to get it out to. So how good their tech is and stuff to get all that, because everybody's gonna have to go do they're probably gonna put, hey, you need to have an FTX account by this time, so we can get you this. That would be my guess. They probably won't do it like we have 1,000 people now. We have 2,000. We're gonna do it all. It'll probably say you need to have an FTX account by, January 1st or January 5th, whatever.
Exactly right.
And then they'll disperse who has the accounts. They're gonna put some of it on you guys to make sure you have that account.
Yep.
At least that would be my guess.
Yeah, exactly right. Okay, guys, so we're moving right along here. I just highlighted a couple of these things because I just thought it was absolutely crazy. Chase probably doesn't have much to do, but it puts just a little bit more kind of context to everything. In 2021, Voyager was one of the top 10 most downloaded cryptocurrency mobile applications in the entire world. That's crazy how fast they went down.
That's meteoric rise and meteoric fall, if I've ever seen it.
Absolutely. It says so. And now some of these things here, guys, that you guys can go ahead and read if you want to. But why I put these in here as well is that, I'll be honest, it seemed to me when I read all these documents, and you did too, it seemed to me that our Voyager and its attorneys were blaming somewhat of a lot of it on cryptocurrency and other projects failing as a domino effect of why they fail. Not because of their stupid ass decisions they made of giving out these crazy loans and knowing that the cryptocurrency bear market was going to come eventually, but because other people went down, that's why we went down.
Well, that's kind of what they're alluding to is look at all these problems that happened, and we just couldn't sustain, with Luna going down, with all this other stuff happening. It was just it was kind of, to me when I read it was kind of like, well, this was kind of inevitable, which it really wasn't. I mean, you gave Three Arrows Capital so much money with no backing.
So Mark says go up. What is the 72%? As you can see right here, Chase, 72%. Mm-hmm. I think, Mark, the 72% is simply just what you're going to get back. I think you're actually going to get 72% back instead of 70%. They're just hypothetically putting 70%.
I think they put it around, but I think there's another chart that says 72 is what and this is all estimated figures.
Estimated. It could be off.
They put that paragraph in there to let everybody know this is estimated. So, 72%, and you look in there and say, I only got 64%. Well, they're going to go back to that paragraph and say, look, we told you it wasn't guaranteed.
Brandon says, I already have an FTX account. So do I, Brandon. Mm-hmm. I wonder, are we still going to get our $50? We don't know that, but yes, I do think so.
I think it's going to be if you have a current account holder and or a new account holder.
Yes.
Now, it wouldn't shock me if what I would do if I was them, I'd probably have, if you have a current account, what you do is, if you think you have a claim from Voyager, you just type in like a code.
Yeah.
Hey, this code, and then you get your $50 credit. And then obviously new account members would have to use the same code. But yeah, I think they'll get that credit to you regardless. But if you don't do one, they've made it pretty clear you won't get your $50 credit.
Correct. Yep. So JM Vid says, and this is something I knew we were going to get asked, and it's a fair question. Absolutely. Should we all vote no? Here's the thing. Chase and I are not on here to tell you how to vote. I can tell you this right now. As VGX holders, I have a little bit of VGX, but the bigger VGX holders, yeah, you guys are going to get screwed. What happened is basically if you buy, and tell me if I'm wrong, Chase, it's fine. Mm-hmm. If you buy Apple and you have however much money in Apple and Apple goes under, well, now your stock of Apple is zero and it's worth nothing. It's gone. That's kind of what's going to happen to these VGX token holders in this plan.
Yeah.
And here's the thing about VGX and voting no that we're going to go through at the bottom here. We'll wait to the bottom because we have the paragraph at the bottom. Okay. Yeah, we'll come back to that. Thank you for your insights, Jay. We appreciate it, James. Thank you. It never quit says strange. The silver lining with VGX is that Ethos is working on a wallet and have a snapshot of VGX. Yep, Ethos could come through. I've seen that too. All right, so let's keep going down. I can't keep up with all the comments, but we're trying, guys. You have until November 25th right here, guys. I'll blow it up for you. November 25th, 2022 at 4 p.m. to make your vote and your voices heard. The debtors will seek bankruptcy court's planned approval on December 6th.
Yep.
So then we should get paid or should get reimbursed after that.
Well, yeah, I mean, but they're going to have to go through the process of how we're going to,
do it,
get that out and
exactly
do it. I know people could be watching this make sure you just recognize this is Eastern time we're talking about. Mm-hmm. So it's 3:00 for Central, and just make sure you get it in by your time zone.
Bronco, yes, you will get Cardano back. You'll get 70% of that back, buddy. Yep. So you get 70% of that back. You'll get cash for your ADA if it's not supported on FTX US. Yes, so never quit making very good comments down here. But if FTX US doesn't support it, then you will get the cash back for your ADA of when it was of that 20-day average. So again, those exact numbers aren't going to be out.
That might be interesting to see in the next 2 months, 2.5 months roughly. If you see FTX US start to support more of these coins so they don't have to give back as much cash.
Yeah.
So that maybe they do start to try to support it. I don't know how quickly they could do that on their platforms or anything, but if they got Voyager's IP, I don't think it would be that hard.
That's a valid point. It's a valid point that I don't know the answer to.
I don't know, but I'm saying,
but it's a good point.
But I mean, if they got their IP, their IP obviously already supports it. So why would it be that hard just to add it to their platform?
Yeah, yeah. So
but I'm not a tech guy, so I don't know. Maybe it's harder than it would seem.
Yeah, because JM Vid says, yeah, the cash deal. If you don't have it, aren't you taking a bigger haircut on the cash?
Probably,
right?
Because I mean, because the market obviously would be down.
Yes.
And you're getting 70% of what it was then, and depending on when you invested it, I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I would think that you're going to be probably pretty far down to then. So yeah, if you have cash, a lot of cash in it, it could be. The problem is, and we're going to go over that. We're going to go over the problem with voting no, and maybe that makes you want to vote no. That's fine. That's totally up to you. And am I entitled to a plan to vote? This is just telling you guys where you need to vote, all that stuff. They need to give FTT token instead of cash. They need to do something, especially for VGX holders as well. Here we go. I have our next one here. In a hypothetical liquidation, holders of account holder claims and general unsecured claims would likely receive a significant reduction or recovery relative to what the holders would receive under this plan. In every liquidation, bankruptcy court may appoint a trustee to oversee effective debtors, all that good stuff. Basically, what they're saying here is we don't want to restructure. We don't want to rerun. This is going to be your best option. If you don't vote yes, then you're going to get screwed even more. Chase, is that what VGX and our Voyager and its lawyers are saying?
I think that's kind of what that paragraph is. It's very well worded to be doom and gloom, saying
yes.
You don't accept this. Well, it could get way worse for you. So you might as well just do this now. And I think it's pretty clear that Voyager and all those people, they want to get out of they want to get out of the business, and
yes.
Which rightfully so. I mean, when you've pissed off all your customers, it's why would you want to stay in the business? But yeah, that's basically saying, to me, that paragraph said, this is the best we can do. Live with it.
Exactly. That's exactly what they're saying, guys. So here's another thing, guys. A projected amount of allowed claims. So basically, this is in millions. So this is 1.73 billion. This number right here, Chase, that's actually 1.73 billion.
Correct.
Because it's already in millions.
Right.
You're going to get 72% back. What does this liquidation column mean to you? Now, we don't know exactly what it means because there's a couple things. But basically what we're saying is the projected recovery plan is you're going to get roughly 72% back at the value of the time, whatever. In the liquidation recovery, saying that basically if they liquidated everything,
to me, liquidation recovery was, unless I missed it in the document, they don't really say what to me that would mean in a bankruptcy situation is we sold everything for cash, and this is what you're going to get back. Yes. That's what we think you're going to get back if we sold everything, and
yes,
yeah, that's what they think.
So if they sold everything and you thought that's what you were going to get back, basically you would be taking another 20% haircut that you wouldn't really need to take.
Correct.
Okay.
The only reason that might be,
and you wouldn't get the $50 credit, and you wouldn't get the FTX account or whatever came.
The only reason that would make sense for anybody really, if you is if you're trying to get out of the crypto game altogether and put your money elsewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe you'd want it in cash instead. That'd be the only reason I would think you would take that. Other than that, if you're planning on staying with the crypto and using FTX anyway, then what's the point of accepting?
Chase, here's kind of a decent question, and this is kind of fumbles me in the head too with this one. JM Vid said, how was what Voyager was doing even legal?
Well, it goes back to the terms and conditions you guys all agreed to when you use their platform. I'm guessing 99% of people, it would have been me included, because guess what? I go through stuff all the time. Yeah, accept. Let me just use this whatever I'm trying to do on the internet, right? And what happened was basically they said, you're giving us this crypto, so you're not using our platform. You're giving this asset to us, and we can do what we want with it. And you guys all agreed to it. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been able to put your you wouldn't be able to use the platform.
Exactly.
And I think people just didn't read that, and I
Mhm.
think people agreed to it before without knowing that, and we found out later, obviously, that was the case.
And they made it so ambiguous about the USDC versus USD thing.
I think that should be something that could even be criminal. I don't know about criminally punished, but that certainly was misleading. How they said everything was backed in a bank, and it was all because I remember we had this blow up when this first happened. There were people telling us it's all backed up by the government. We're all good. Well, but that was not the case, and they marketed it really. Was it an all out lie? No. Was it marketed to a point where you certainly could confuse people or make them think one thing when it's actually another? Absolutely, it was.
Yeah, absolutely. Jeff says, I know you guys talked about it, but do I need to make an FTX account even though I already have one? No, you can just keep it. As far as we know, they will email all this out to you guys, and they are going to make it very easy to get to all you. But for right now, you probably don't need to make anything. And if you already have one, you don't need to delete it or anything. They will make sure to get it to your account. I'm sure they've already thought of all that.
I'm sure that you'll get it once this goes, because they're not going to do it now because this is not guaranteed.
Not
yet.
guaranteed.
I mean, so you're not going to get emails telling you to make accounts because you guys could all say, we're not doing this.
Yep.
So once it's confirmed, then you get an email probably with instructions. Hey, if you already have an account, this is what you need to do. If you don't have an account, this is what you need to do, and it should be pretty simple. I mean, everybody already lost, a pretty good amount of money. They're going to want to make it as easy as possible to get those assets over to FTX, which. That's why they bought it.
For sure. So, Bronco, another good question, but if you don't have an FTX account, I would just wait for your email. I would just wait for your email to make one, and then maybe that transition's a little bit smoother. If you already have one, you're completely fine. I already have one. I'm just going to leave it alone, and the credit will find it. Whatever I have to do, if I got to send my wallet, whatever it may be, we'll make sure we get that figured out, and I'll make sure I make a video on how you do both of those things, okay? So we'll keep you guys up to there. Let's see here. Early crypto investor, aren't the terms and conditions void if they are lying about them being backed up? Example would be the claim is their crypto, but when you onto your account, if it states on your own. So here's the thing. An early crypto investor is the one guy who I want to get you in touch with today, but I think we can answer it now, early crypto investor, and not have to call you after. But basically, early crypto investor said, do you think there's anything that they could be lying in their terms and conditions? But does it even matter because we all signed it?
Well, you guys all signed it. Now, if there was just blatant lies in it, you could say the contract is void because there was never a meeting of the minds. Because if I lie in a contract, how can they say that we came to an agreement when obviously the agreement was based on information I knew to be false?
I gotcha. Okay.
Now the question is, did they actually lie? Probably not technically.
Okay.
If we're just talking about, the cash we have is backed up in this bank, and it was, that's true, but it just didn't mean everybody's money was backed up in this bank, and it was misleading, no doubt. Could they be punished for that? Maybe, but I don't think the terms and conditions would be an outright lie. I'd actually have to read them. I don't think anybody's ever been able to get the actual.
Not the exact one.
No one's ever been able to get the exact one that you guys all signed. One, because nobody probably printed it out. You probably just clicked on it and said okay. And
so another question that I have for early crypto investor that we were going to talk about earlier that I think will help other people. Do VGX people have any sort of way to sue anybody for anything? Can you please go over that? We talked about this beforehand.
Yep. Well, in this country, anybody can sue anyone. The question is who to sue, and is it going to be, are you even going to get past summary judgment? And summary judgment is something where somebody sues someone and they're asking for the case to be dismissed because procedurally you simply can't do it. A lot of that happens when, like, you sue. A lot of times cities, they have immunities from such things. Police officers a lot of times have immunity when they're acting within the scope of their job. So if you sue them, you got to be able to get through that. I just don't see any way you could sue the Voyager. If you're talking about like the executive board or the people who ran the company,
I think so. I think that's what he's talking about.
No, they're going to be protected because we can't run. If we could just be all sued for bad business decisions, no one's going to run a business in this country. Because I mean, how many businesses have gone belly up because of bad business choices. Not maybe it wasn't malicious or anything. I made a bad choice, and that happens, and they're going to protect you for that. Now, if it was gross negligence, which I don't know if you're going to get to gross negligence here, and Voyager, a lot of the people are going to be protected by, the fact that this was an LLC or an incorporation. I don't remember what it is. You also have to sue the entity. Well, the entity is filing bankruptcy. It doesn't have anything.
Doesn't have any money, so it doesn't matter.
So I don't think there's anyone to sue. No, I mean, I suppose you could do it if you wanted to, but I think you'd probably get summary judgment out before you ever got to a jury.
Okay, so Kevin says, now this is going to be a tough one to answer. Kevin says, I got 7K tokens of VGX on the app. Would I get 70% of that cash back? No. You're going to get 5% of 7,000, right?
Unless something changes, you're going to get 5%.
Yeah, you're going to get 5% of that $7,000, Kevin. So you're going to I'm not telling anybody to do anything. That is not what I already know what I'm going to do with my vote. And you guys got to make your own decisions, talk to your families, do your things. But if you have VGX, I mean, you're probably going to want to vote no. I'm just going to say it.
If that was all I had on the platform, I'd be voting no as many times as I could vote no.
Yeah, can anybody else vote no for me? I mean, that's just the way it is.
But it doesn't seem like it seems like VGX. Those tokens, unfortunately, seem pretty dead in the water, and
yes,
they basically just I don't know why they gave the $10 million, because they probably could have gave zero and the deal would still be presented
for sure. So probably just like hush money type of thing.
Probably just we'll throw you a bone, but it doesn't sound. I mean, it seems like FTX is not interested in those coins at all.
Correct. They don't want anything to do with them. So, Mark, we will get to your 28 to 30% of writing off questions. It's outlined in here towards the end. It is very hard to read, but we did read it all and went through it all. And you're probably not going to like our answer, but we will get to it. I promise you that. We'll get to it. It is odd how the document covers VGX and says 10 million, but then the chart says 70%. Yes. So never quit. The document covers VGX. It says exactly right. Yeah. Why would they put VGX in that stupid chart? You know what I'm saying? Because that is very misleading.
I thought the same thing when they say, we don't want anything to do with it, but we'll be giving people who have the tokens $10 million of the $200 million. But then you put it in the chart. My guess is this is 186 pages and somebody just made a mistake.
Exactly right.
I mean, because legal documents, all the time, mistakes are made. Whether it's a 2-page document, maybe you mix up petitioner, respondent, or, plaintiff, defendant to, I mean, that's just a lot. It's a lot of, it would shock me if you go through there and there's not a couple mistakes that even after this has been proofread to death, which I assume it has been by the many lawyers that have taken a look at it, that there's still not a mistake in there.
Yeah, absolutely. And who they probably don't know crypto all that well.
That would be another thing I'd say. Not all lawyers are into crypto. I mean, this could all be brand new to them. They understand the concepts of how a bankruptcy works. How I can do a criminal case in my sleep pretty much, but if someone stole crypto, I know what the process would be to that, but going into the crypto space and figuring out what all this means is a different story entirely. So this very well could have been lawyers who have nothing to do with crypto. They're just doing their job and made a mistake. That'd be my best guess.
A lot of people saying thanks. Jess saying thanks. Lucy John being very nice. Kevin saying that hurts. That does hurt. Never quit. Excellent comment. Appreciate that. So we're not exactly sure with that, but let's move back to the document, guys, so we can start getting through this a little bit more. The debtors will contribute the FTX pool. We kind of already went over all that. We will expect virtually account holders to go to the FTX. We went over that and the timeline. What happens to my recovery if the plan is not confirmed and does not go as effective? Here's something you guys might want to pay attention to. In the event that the plan is not confirmed or does not go as effective, there is no assurance that the debtors will be able to basically get another transaction or restructuring transaction. It is possible that any alternative transactions may provide basically a worse loss of a liquidation scenario, and you may get a lot less money than you're going to get with this one.
That's kind of what it's basically they're saying. We don't know that we could complete the Chapter 11 without, as in restructuring. Mm-hmm. They don't know that. They're saying they're not positive they can complete it if you guys don't vote for this.
Well, and that's the next thing I was going to go over, is because then they want to change it to Chapter 7. and you change to Chapter 7, that's more fees, more issues, more cash getting burnt, and now they're just going to sell whatever they have, and you're going to get what you get, and you're going to get way less.
Chapter 7 bankruptcy is that's if people are familiar with bankruptcy at all, Chapter 7 is probably what they're most familiar with. And when people think bankrupt means I owe people so much money that I don't have.
Yeah, I literally don't have money, and we'll give you what I got, and that is even more so along the 20 to 30% of what
that is more used in. That's also if usually if someone files personal bankruptcy, it's Chapter 7. Chapter 7 is the one when you think bankruptcy, oh, they don't have any money. That's what Chapter 7 is.
Honestly, JM brings up another good point. The whole bankruptcy thing kind of
killing it today.
Yeah, he is. Kind of seems like a scam. These companies run for bankruptcy, then they get out of it, then they try to restructure. That is kind of crapped up how people can do that, right?
Companies do it all the time.
All the time.
And they change names, and a lot of times you won't even know because the LLC that's running the LLC or the incorporation, whatever it might be that the companies run under, that may file for bankruptcy, but the name that you guys all know maybe doesn't change, and they've restructured several times in bankruptcy. That let's say, let's say just because let's say Walmart.
Yeah,
I don't know. Walmart might be Walmart Incorporated, or Walmart might be Walton Brothers Incorporated.
Absolutely.
And we're then they file just a DBA, which is doing business as Walmart, but everybody knows Walmart. So
yeah,
you could have these companies filing bankruptcy and moving assets around and stuff. You guys may never even know if you don't follow it closely, because if you just go to their stores, you wouldn't know the difference.
You have no idea. It's a good point. James John says, is the 72% before or after they pay the attorney's fees? It looks like you're going to get 72% back.
That's what it looks like.
That's what it looks like
to me. Just knowing from this, attorney's fees will not be based on crypto. They would have gotten cash
for sure.
So they are probably already paid.
Yes. So the releases and plan basically why I put this in here, guys. Everything can change. Everything can change. This whole thing can be completely changed. Okay, just please understand that. The voting deadline, another good point here, guys. I need to click back over. I apologize for that. November 25th. Is November 25th. We went over that, but I just want to make sure. So how do I plan to vote again for or against the plan? It's right here, guys. That is on page 25. On page 25, basically you must do it properly, otherwise your vote won't count. How you do it properly is that they're going to email you, and they should let you know exactly how to do it properly. But basically, that's showing you on page 25. If you want to go through that, you can certainly do that. But there are a couple things I need to get to. You have additional questions. Here, additional question page 26. All this bullshit. Okay, so now we start getting down into any claims, causes of action held by the debtors. Basically, Three Arrows Capital, the wind down suit. Chase, can you please give us a brief thing about what wind down means in the Three Arrows Capital?
Okay, so when they're winding down, that means they're selling. That's when they're winding down a bankruptcy, which Three Arrows Capital, I assume is not an 11. It's got to be a Chapter 7.
Yeah.
When they're winding down, that means they've gotten to the point where they've pretty much sold everything. They know what they're going to give back, and that's when they start distributing whatever dividends they have, and then that's when people sometimes get the cold reality of what they're actually going to get back.
Correct. Angel says a great point here. It's not very complicated. You're going to get 70% back on your crypto. You ain't going to get shit back on anything else. That's pretty much it. You can get maybe some stuff sold. So, tax implications, guys. We start scrolling down. Remember, this is a long document, people. I mean, Chase, just let us know seriously how much money would it cost you? Would it cost me to pay you to read this document and go over this? I really do want to know. It's 186 pages. I want to know what would it be like? To give me a brief on this.
You want a brief on it?
I want a brief on it. Okay. I want everything I need to know.
Brief
about
on it, research everything?
Everything.
$5,000 at least.
$5,000, guys. To do what he's doing for free, $5,000. So if you're in the comments hating, you can go F yourself, because that's bullcrap. He's here to help you guys out for absolutely free. So the Terra Luna collapse, obviously, this is just another thing that I wanted to go over that you guys can read, that basically they're blaming, other people for their own stupid mistakes, which sucks. But next up here, they gave out, $350 million roughly in Bitcoin and $350 million in USDC, and that's ultimately what put these guys under.
Yeah. I mean,
right there.
Yeah, I mean it's right there with the game, and yeah. I mean, whenever you file bankruptcy, you can blame it on a lot of things, and companies do it all the time. Hell, personal people who file bankruptcy blame it on other things. Lost my job, I got fired for whatever reason. However it happened, I made a bad investment. I did whatever, and they're trying to basically saying it is our fault, but it's not our fault. If these things wouldn't have went like this, we'd all still be having a great day.
Yeah. So true. Okay, so we're kind of starting to get to the nitty gritty here of the ending. There's a couple of pages that I wanted to go over with you guys. You guys can go read all this, but this is just like tax stuff, sales stuff. These are things we've already went over. You already know, hey, appreciate the super chat, man. Really do, from James. So we're going to keep rolling down here. But basically, here we go. Okay, so let me move this over. The debtors cannot guarantee recoveries or timing of such recoveries. Although debtors have made commercially reasonable efforts to estimate and allow claims and allow interest, it is possible that the amount and such allowed claims and allowed interest in this document as well can be wrong and can be changed. So,
basically, if you read the whole thing, we just want you to know. If you take it outside, we could take it outside and burn it if we have to and start over.
James says
we just want you guys to know that.
Beer's on him, Chase, today. Go Hawks. And I do want to preference this too. I didn't even want to say it because we're not the excuse type. But Chase, we were in a charity golf outing yesterday, and Chase sprained his ankle really bad, and so he couldn't. He's been up since 2 a.m. So that's pretty funny. I was like, well, you had plenty of time to read the document then.
Yeah.
So anyways, the plan will likely diminish the value of VGX as you guys see this right here. Yeah, your VGX, it's gone. It's gone. That's what it is.
They'll likely, the plan will. If the plan goes into effect, it will diminish the value of VGX. I like how they have it buried on the 50th page in a paragraph.
Exactly, but, right.
Whatever. I guess I didn't write it up.
So, yeah, that is that. You know what? That is such bullshit. Now you say that. Yeah, they put it on page 51 of a 186-page document to read that.
And it's it takes up a sixth of the page?
Takes up a sixth of the page. Everybody's saying thank you. A lot of super chats coming in. Jess sent a super chat. We appreciate it, guys. He's in here helping out. His brother was in a bad situation with it too. I'm like, let's bring in some people that actually know. If you guys want to read this stuff, you can, but it's worthless. You guys already know most of it.
And I would say, I know we talked about this, and I definitely wanted to hit it for. If you have tax questions about what you should do, go see a tax professional.
I'm getting to it right now.
Oh, okay.
I'm getting to it right now. Sorry. Okay, here we go, guys. Tax questions. We're going to get into that too. All holders of claims and interests are urged in the strongest terms possible to consult with their tax advisors as to the particular tax consequences that this may mean. Literally, the document is telling you.
Not only are they telling you go see your tax advisors, they're telling you we're not responsible if you mess up your taxes.
Yes.
We're telling you right here to go talk to tax people how this plan will affect you, and if you have the ability to go do it before November 25th, maybe you want to just so that you're voting with all the information you can possibly have.
Yes. So there's taxable information in here, guys, that you guys can, but basically you're going to have to ask about the 30% is that it still does. Here we go. It still is. So the limitations on the use of capital losses, you can still write off. I think my opinion. I don't know. We're gonna bring a tax guy on. We'll talk about that too. So this is gonna be short because we don't know. You need to talk to your tax person. We're not tax people. But basically right here it's saying you can still have you can write off up to $3,000 in loss, in your capital losses, whatever. I wonder if that 30% will go towards that 3,000.
It's possible. I don't practice in the tax arena at all.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly because it's a good way to get sued. Because if you really don't know the tax code, and if you've ever looked at the tax code in the United States, it is quite the document.
Bronco, you will be getting Bitcoin back, my friend. You will be getting Bitcoin back. Okay, so Lucy John just comes out and says it. She's like, Chase, should we vote yes? Why don't you just tackle that question? Okay. Obviously, don't vote for them, but what do you think?
I wouldn't. Let's say to me, it's kind of a hard question to answer as a blanket statement like that for everybody, right? Because if all I had was VGX, I'd be voting no. I mean, I would already be trying to vote no. I'd drive to New York and vote no again.
Yeah.
So it depends on how your portfolio is invested, I would say. 2, I mean, where your money is, because you're going to take a loss. You go vote yes, vote no, you're going to take a loss regardless. It depends where you are as in your life. I mean, now mainly, granted, younger people do get into crypto. I think it probably skews younger.
Yeah.
But if you're at, retirement age and you're looking to get out of it, would cash be more beneficial to you than staying in the crypto market to see what's going to happen? So it's hard for me to say if you vote yes. Does it seem like voting yes will probably get you the most crypto back fastest? Yes, that's what it seems like to me. But it really depends on your portfolio and where you're at in your life and what you're really looking to do. If you're looking to stay in crypto, that makes a lot of sense for you to vote yes from the numbers I'm seeing. If you're not looking to stay in crypto, maybe it doesn't make as much sense. But that I would assume if you're watching this, you're looking to stay in crypto. So I don't know why. But I don't know. That's it to me, how you're invested and how much is leveraged. With Voyager would really it would want to. That's how I'd figure out if I was going to vote yes or just how I was invested.
Yeah. All right. So Lucy, really appreciate this.
And I know that wasn't a good answer. I'm sorry.
There's no good answer. So either way, it's
yeah.
we'll get roasted by somebody in the comments. That's okay. So Strange Music says, will the 10 million VGX tokens, will they be sold on the market by FTX? That's our guess. Our guess is they'll probably just burn them and get rid of them, and they're just going to pay $10 million for them.
I'm guessing the 200 million in tokens, we're going to toss that in the trash. We're going to give everybody 10 million who had them on a pro rata share, and then the VGX tokens will just be. I mean, they'll be, like Rice Krispie treats, the cereal, just a thing of the past.
Mark said in the comments, he's like, "Well, I'm broke." That's sad, but also kind of
Mark,
funny
if you come to Davenport, we'll buy you a beer.
Yeah, we'll get you some beers, man. Jeff Jeezy says, what was the refund policy for coins not on FTX? We went over that, but basically you're going to get cash for them. You're going to get cash for them at the time that the snapshot and the 20-day average was taken. You're going to get 72% of whatever that was.
And we also did say, I mean, this is still 2 months away from being fully done.
Yeah.
FTX could be trying to get those coins on their platform. And like we talked about earlier, if they bought Voyager's IP, I wouldn't think it would be that difficult, but you'd have to ask like a programmer or somebody like that if they would know. But I would think if Voyager's IP already has that capability to carry that coin, why it would be hard for VTX to put that on their platform, I don't think it would be.
So the final thing I want to go over, guys, this is on page 71, and then it goes into, I'm going to ask Chase about that here on too, but it says the U.S. income tax consequences of this plan are extremely complex. You have to go to your own accountant, guys. I mean, we honestly, I'm not kidding you, Chase. What do you think about this? If you go to your accountant right away, they won't know this answer. No, they're going to have to go look it up. They're going to have to call someone else who has to call someone else, and then they'll figure it out. But they will not know the answer to these questions. There's no way.
I think if you walk in with 186 pages, put it on their desk and say, what do you think the tax consequences are going to be for me? Like, I'll call you back in 2 weeks and let you know.
Yeah. You're going to get charged a shit ton of money.
I also think you're going to have a problem. What they're positioning themselves in this document to be is, we are not going to get sued for you guys owing taxes. It is on you to figure out. This is the plan. This is what we're doing. If there's tax consequences, it's not our problem.
All right, guys, we are on the last leg of our battery. We have about 20 seconds left on our battery here. If you guys have any other questions for Chase, please put them down here. I'll try to read them. I can put a new battery in, so we might go blank. Just wanted to let you guys know. Daniel says, he wanted to fix his house back up from Ian. Yeah, dude, that sucks. Ian was
Ian was a total disaster zone, and I hope everybody on the East Coast stayed as safe as they could and could evacuate if they were able to.
Basically whatever crypto is not supported. Okay, looks like Shingo. Yep. So there could be somebody. Is it possible that Ethos is that another company could come in and take over VGX and make something work with VGX? Or what if the sale goes through? Now FTX owns VGX, so they're going to throw it in the dumpster no matter what.
I don't think another. If
You
if
can't
that,
do
if that
it,
goes
right?
through, I don't think another thing's going through.
No, if you hold VGX, you're screwed. You are screwed in this.
Yeah, you're screwed
You're
because I
screwed.
mean they're not. I don't think FTX be like, yeah, we paid $10 million for the $200 million, but you guys can just have it.
Yeah.
We'll just pay the $10 million. I don't think that's going to happen.
So Lucy John says, last question for me. I'll move to FTX US or FTX because the different company. Yeah, you're gonna have to do FTX US. I think. Yeah, you're gonna have to do FTX US. Let's see here. You guys rock, by the way, Chase. Doesn't it sound shady? FTX gives them a loan, Voyager goes bankrupt, then the same company buys them. That does sound shady. Dude, that's another comment from JM. This dude is on the money today.
I mean,
that does sound shady.
Is it shady? Yeah. I mean, how they got. There's some questions on how the loan was given and when. Who knew what when?
For sure.
We'll never know those answers unless someone comes out and tells us. And they've all signed non-disclosure agreements at this point, so they're not going to come out and say anything. And they probably got substantial millions of dollars to keep their mouth shut.
All right, guys. So that's all we got. We've got to get him off here. He's got things to do. He's got to go a lot for court next week. He's got a trial coming up. But again, we will be back on here. This isn't the last time you'll see us, but this is probably the most important one we've done because we actually have something to go off of.
Yeah.
Right? Is there anything else you want to say? I don't see our battery's going to die here. And it's going to die in a couple seconds. But go say what you got to say.
Just that maybe this it happened faster than what I thought, and maybe hey, you guys can get something back and start getting some semblance of I guess normalcy, if you will. It sucks everybody had to go through this, but it could be worse. You could be with one of the commenters whose house was destroyed by Hurricane Ian.
Yeah, and you got shit on Voyager.
Yeah.
Oh shoot. So we got out of that. That's okay, but they can still hear us. So yeah, they can still hear us. So yeah, we appreciate you guys. I know you guys can't see us because our battery ran out, but we appreciate you guys being with us. That's all we've got today. If you guys have any other questions, let us know. We'll throw them down in the comments, all that good stuff. Chase will be back because there will be other things coming out, right, Chase?
I would assume there'll be other things coming out, especially if this does not get approved.
Okay, yeah, because if it doesn't get approved, then there could be some ramifications of other things.
There'll be more court filings, and I don't know if they'll try to do another auction or what they'll try to do, but there'll certainly be some different things if this doesn't get approved. All
right, guys, for now, that's all we've got. We're out of battery. Sorry, I don't want to go switch it with only 2 seconds left. Otherwise, I could. But if you guys would really like the video, really does help us, give Chase a big thumbs up. The dude absolutely killed it on a Saturday. Came in 186 pages, read it for all you guys to help us all out. That's all we've got, guys. We're out of here. If you got questions, throw them down in the comments. You guys have a great Saturday. We appreciate you guys rocking with the fittest crypto channel on YouTube, and we are out.